Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. It's Robbie Rhino, and in today's video we have an awesome game in the FV4211, which is an Era 2 British Western Alliance heavy tank, and it's probably tier for tier the most powerful tank in Cold War. And you know, it's no surprise that people are having games like the one I'm going to have now. But in particular in this video I wanted to talk about taking out light tanks and how I compensate for my lack of reaction speed. Now, I don't have the worst reactions in the game, I definitely don't have the best, and the best players seem to be able to snap shots in. They have a higher sensitivity on their controller, and it seems like they're able just to zoom around 360 view, look at everything, and then they snap back into their reticle when they're able to fire with ease. And I don't have that kind of reaction speed. I'm just, I don't know, maybe at 31 years old I'm starting to get old now and I'm going to struggle. But I'm going to show you how I compensate for, you know, my lack of reaction speed by predicting where tanks are going and using basically my prediction of the enemy's movements. So in this battle I'm heading over at the start of the battle to F5 location, to that brawling hill that you see me take up on a number of videos on this channel already, and on my way we are going to get distracted and spotted by light tanks that are coming down into the centre just to the right of me now, and they're going to be in combat with my friendly light tank. So I'm going to stop and I'm going to try and get one or two shots in and then head up to the brawling location. But as you'll see, we end up having to stay here for quite a while because the enemies are just presenting themselves to us. And if we can get light tanks that are highly mobile, that have great view range and great concealment out of the way at the start of the battle, that's going to make it a lot more easy for us later in the battle. So as you can see here, this Scorpion 90, although he's lighting up our whole team basically and he's causing a massive destruction, the massive flaw and the major mistake that he is making is going around in a circle, in the exact same circle. He's not making it hard for us, and we're able to predict where he is going. So I'm predicting where this tank is going, and what I'm doing is lining my reticle up in front of him ever so slightly because this gun has fantastic shell velocity, and I'm just predicting where he's going, lining it up in front of him, and I'm leaving my reticle there and letting the enemy light tank just drive into my reticle. I'm not following him like I'm doing with some of these shots, and some of these shots are just from experience, and I'm taking some more chancy shots because this tank has fantastic shell velocity. It's 1370 meters a second on the standard APDS rounds and 1530 meters a second on the premium APF SDS rounds. But as you can see, I'm just making use of their predictable movements, where I'm thinking they're going to go. This medium tank now has only one way to get out of this, and he's got to go straight on. So all I can do is lock on when I'm backing up to make sure that when I enter my reticle to actually manually aim, I'm already on the tank. I just go slightly in front of him, and it means the bloom on my gun is a lot smaller and I'm going to be a lot more accurate, and I'm able to take the tanks out. So I hope that was really helpful for you. It's only a small piece of advice, but you predict their movements, you put your reticle in front of where you think they're going to be, and you let them drive in front of it so there's no movement on your part. And if they do, and if they're coming towards you, depending on what shell velocity your gun has and what tank you're using, then you know when to fire. And that just takes a bit of practice. You can always look at the statistics of your tank in the garage, and it'll tell you the shell velocity of the gun, and it's really important. Anything about 1000 meters a second plus is absolutely phenomenal for tanks that are moving around at high speeds. And as you can see there, that sort of just that small piece of advice and that thing that I picked up from playing the game for 8 years now, it's just helped me able to predict where players are going. And I can aim a lot easier on mobile targets because I don't have that massive reaction speed where I can absolutely snap a shot in. It happens occasionally, but I guess it's more by luck than by anything. So in that engagement, and already in this game, we've picked up 5.3k damage. We've gone up to that brawling location, but it seems like a lot of their tanks are hiding right in the back corner in the sort of one line basically, and I'm going to come now and see if I can get some more shots into this Sheridan, because that'll be the last tank or the last light tank taken out of their team. But then again I get distracted. I notice these heavies are pushing in towards our base, so I'm going to come over, use these ridge lines, use the fantastic turret armor of the FV4211, and I'm going to come over and stop their advance. And I've got all my hit points in place still, and yeah, I'm just making sure my corridors are safe when I'm going. So I'm aiming my turret when I'm moving to where I think enemies might appear, so that my strongest part of my turret is facing them in case they auto-lock onto me. I'm more likely to bounce a shot. So when I'm here, I'm able to go hold down, and I'm able to spot tanks that are trying to advance to my cap circle, and I'm spotting them for my teammates, and this is going to give me some lovely juicy assistance. And that Sheridan came up behind me with an ATGM, and that just shows how crazy the spaced armor is on the side of this tank. ATGM to the side, and yeah, it did no damage. I was able to absorb it all, and that is just insane. That shouldn't be really a thing. I don't think it's powerful enough as it is when it's hold down, but hey ho, I'm going to make the most of it. And I play this tank at the moment mainly to make silver. I'm going to make a lot of silver in this battle, and I think it's with a ×2, but yeah, we're going to make a lot of silver, as you'll see in the end results. And as you'll see, everyone's having a problem actually penetrating me. I'm hold down, I'm lighting up all these targets, and I'm just using this tank to its strengths, and I haven't had to fire any premium rounds yet. And yeah, the setup I have on this tank, which I'll talk you through now, it works for me, and it means that I'm able to feel very confident pushing in this tank. So equipment rise, I run advanced loader, gun, stabilizer and traction system, because this is a little bit sluggish, so I want to try and boost my top speed and my my traverse speed just a little bit more. And in terms of my commander, I run 6th Sense, Born Leader, Rapid Loading, Steady Aim, Rapid Aim, Snapshot, Run and Gun, Armour Angling and Track Mechanic. And it's kind of a very standard kind of build for a heavy tank. I'm using the Track Mechanic and the Armour Angling to get my tracks back on, you know, to reduce the damage. I'm using a lot of gun handling skills, because this gun can feel a little bit derpy if you don't give it a bit of love in terms of your setup. But now it's incredibly accurate. It's a fantastic reload for this 120mm gun, and I find that this setup works really well for me. And this probably isn't advisable, but I've got enough hit points to come up here, so I want to try and take out what's behind me first, so that I'm not getting shot in the rear. I'm aware that I'm exposing the rear of my tank to the 2 or 3 enemies behind me. However, it looks like they're not particularly focused on me, so I'm just going to go hold down against this T-72A and laugh as his inferior rounds bounce off my British hull. So now we're going to just face hug this T-72A. I can shoot down into the turret ring on top of the hull and penetrate him, and he's going to struggle unless he shoots my turret ring, which is a weak spot if this tank is facing you. And now we're going to turn around and turn our attention to the tanks that are in their base, and we're going to see if we can push this game over the 10,000 damage mark. We fire on the move there as we go over a ridge line, and I'm just counting that as a warning shot, but this Mobat's playing hold down, so he looks like he's a relatively decent player, so I'm just going to try and get into some hard cover, because it looks like he's able to shoot, and I'm going to try and take out these tanks to the left of me and then focus on the Mobat. So I'm going to go over here. I'm trying to get as far away from that Mobat as possible for the moment, get into a hold down location, so that even if he does shoot at my weak points, he's probably likely to bounce off, and we're going to take out these tanks. And this tank is fantastic for engaging multiple enemies that are in front of you because of the fantastic turret armor. You know, it's got a lot of spaced armor on the sides, and it's just a crazy OP tank. It's so powerful, and I think it does need a little bit of a nerf, maybe some looking at. But we've managed to get our game over the 10k damage mark, and we finish it off with a ram kill, and what can be better than that? So I hope that shows how important it is to take out the light tanks at the start of the battle and the highly mobile tanks with good vision. So in that game we finished MVP with a Top Gun, or I'd say Top Gun, we didn't get medals in Cold War, but with 6 kills. We get the Mastery Badge, nearly at the 2nd mark now, and yeah, that is 13.9k damage combined, 1670 blocked, and we make 630,000 silver. And that's an absolutely awesome game, and that tanking shows how important it is to take out the light tanks at the start of the battle, and how much that gives you of an advantage, and how you can compensate for slower reaction speeds and make it look like you aim really well. So I hope you've enjoyed today's replay. Thank you all so much for getting me over the 500 sub mark. That's absolutely awesome, and there'll be a giveaway going on the channel this week with all the new content. I'll put out a video out with a giveaway, so please watch that. It will be the biggest giveaway that I've done on this channel. But until next time, thank you so much. I'll see you on the battlefield, and bye for now.